How much room do we have on the other side of that LVL? Plenty?
Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, right here we should be fine, but then we'll plumb the wall as we go, so I'll move it.
Oh, plumb it and have him nail
and
it.
that person will nail it. And then if we get to those and we have to like cut that top plate to get it to move, then we will.
With the first floor framing now complete, it was obviously time to move to the second floor framing.
Got it?
It doesn't matter what side the top bottom does it, Paul?
I don't know, the writing. If the writing's up, then it'll work right.
Don't blink because things move quickly around here. In the short period of time we had the ceiling over the living room kitchen area, and it certainly made it feel a lot different. There it is, the foundation for the second story floor.
Oh, yeah, no. You guys put one upside down, it's not going to work right. Just kidding. You did.
So it's 2:30 in the morning right now, and usually this is when I go to bed. Somewhere around 2-3 o'clock is usually when I get done with editing or whatever I'm doing on my computer and I go to bed. But today we have the rest of our concrete work being put in, so the driveway, the porch area is going to be poured, hopefully. At least we're going to start on all that today. So I went to bed early to try to get a few hours of sleep, and then for some reason right now I'm wide awake, so I'm probably going to head out and maybe sleep in my truck and try to catch sunrise out there this morning. So that's the plan. When is sunrise in Des Moines, Iowa today?
Sunrise in Des Moines will be at 7:08 a.m. today.
Definitely did not get much sleep, but the morning views are certainly worth it. The concrete guys arrived and Paul and the crew continued their work inside. Paul put down the glue as Cash put the first few nails in the upstairs floor. It wasn't long before I could walk in my future studio area. While that work was going on inside, the concrete company delivered some rock to start their work outside. It was definitely a busy day at Westbury with trucks lining the drive. Paul was just finishing his work for the day, but took a moment to admire just how far the building has come in a short amount of time. The next day, I was up before sunrise again. We saw our first freeze of the fall season. The warm water of the ponds in the area created a breathtaking fog that lingered in the valleys. Not only were the ponds producing a mesmerizing fog, but the fresh concrete was putting on a show of its own. As the sun rose for the morning, the golden light was glowing on everything it touched. Later that afternoon, the concrete work was finished, and the walls were going up on the second floor. Paul began test fitting the layout of the stairs. And we lifted the final wall. Jake and Cash worked on sheeting the wall in between the living space and the shop, and Paul put some temporary stair treads in place so we can walk up to the second floor. The next day, the gutters were being installed while electrical work also began, and Kelsey came out so we could go over placements of outlets.
So those would have to go out.
Right here. Or do you want it up here?
How high is the other question? So we got 9 feet, so you... With so much going on, I didn't want to miss the trees in one of my favorite seasons of the year. So I took a little time one afternoon to capture the moment and the colors as they seemed to change daily. The signs of fall were present back home as well, and the dogs bathed in the sunlight while it lasted.
But I could use a friend on the journey ahead, and we won't know where the road will go. Ooh, for the day is young, and we're free to run.
That sunlight turned into moonlight one evening as the clouds raced past a full moon.
just looks like smoke.
Pocahontas now?
Huh?
Pocahontas now?
Back at Westbury, the guys were finishing up a couple closet additions. And then finishing metal under the porch. Underneath the front peak, we decided to do a tongue and groove cedar, and all the wood will be stained to match in the future.
Well, the first good sign was that it wasn't that dusty on the gravel road, so we'll see how much rain we got. Basically, nothing. Nothing more to say than very disappointing. Well, it looks like it rained out here, but my rain gauge had nothing in it, basically, so it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was like pouring torrential downpour at my house, and I looked out and it was like 1/4, 3/8 of an inch. But it came down sideways, so I don't know how well the rain gauge works when it does that.
Yeah. Confession time. I don't really want to be so affected by the weather, but it does kind of affect my mood. Especially in the winter time, you know, I have some issues with some seasonal things with that, but also in the summer I've just noticed that the last few seasons, this is the 4th season in a row that we've been in a drought here, or at least part of the year we've been in a drought. And maybe it's the fact that I grow something that needs to be watered for a living. I guess that's probably one thing. But the other thing is just the rainfall is so important to just cleaning everything and not having everything be so dusty every day. And so for all of you who live out west and deal with this whole dry weather and the way that it is all the time, I don't know how you do it, first of all, but second of all, it's just not personally for me. Hopefully we're going to get out of this pattern really soon, but of course it's not really up to me. As much as I would like to be in control of what's going on in the weather, I have no say. So why am I getting mad about it? I don't know, but it's just me. This shipping container has been an absolute necessity, so if you're doing a project like this and you need some storage, I would highly recommend something like this. You know, you can use it long term. We're still planning to use this. Even when we have our shop and everything, we're planning to keep most of my lawn equipment down here. It's all next to my plots and everything, so why move it all up there? It's a great amount of storage, so definitely love this thing. But I gotta get some things cleaned out because I need to get the vent track more accessible. I need to use that thing more often, and it's buried right now.
Midnight skies need northern stars. I think home is right.
Much better.
Words get caught on my tongue.
So Paul just left and the exterior is complete. He finished up the porch. I'll show you what that looks like right now.
You're the only
What a summer and early fall it's been at Westbury.
one. Fireflies and fields of gold.
Stay tuned for an upcoming episode where we'll do a walkthrough of the living space.
Flickering sparks of a wide-eyed child.
As always, thanks for watching.